Hey, what's up? We're the Samuel Irvin Project, and you are listening to the Gallatin Underground. There's a time to embrace the silence. Step around the issue. Combat me. Throw sticks and stones. Can't hurt me further than what I've done. Fight, do what's right. Fight, shine the light. Fight, stand up. Don't back down, stand up when they tear you down, stand up. Our warfare, we've prepared silence alone. No weapons, no sticks, no stone. Enter and claim the win. The battle is real. Without action, there's a time for passive reaction. There is a time to fight. Stand up, don't back down. Stand up when they tear you down. Stand up, don't back down. Stand up. Tear you down, boy. Do what's right. We will fight. Shine the light. We will fight. In this moment. In this moment. Fight. In this moment. We will. In this moment. We will. In this moment. We will. In this moment.
Wow, that was awesome. My name is Vincent Palafox. This is co-host
Aaron Redfire.
And today we're here with the Samuel Irvin Project. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Good. Second time I've hit myself in the face with this.
Don't eat it.
I feel like we should start off with some introductions.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I guess.
Samuel?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. So I'm Samuel Irvin. And what do you want for an introduction? You just want to know.
and this is your project.
This is my project, yeah.
All right, just talk about like yourself and like the gear you're currently playing with. That's
The gear I'm
normally
currently
how we
playing
start
with.
off.
Okay, so for starters, about myself, I'm kind of one of those guys, like, if it gets the job done, do it. I'm not necessarily a gear head. I buy stuff because I need it, not because I'm in love with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
A
practical.
lot of people are like, oh, what's this or that? And I'm like, I don't know. It works. It's getting the job done.
Sure.
I started playing music when I was a kid, and then got away from it and recently had a chance to kind of get back into it. One thing led to another. I sent in some demos, which led to some crowdfunding, like an album, which I've almost got done. And then I'm like, okay, if I ever wanted to play this live, how would I do that? And through a mutual friend, met Michael, and Adam and I met online.
Hit it off.
So that's where this has come from. And yeah, we're just trying to get out and get a little bit of promotion. We're doing a CD release party or concert April 30th.
Cool.
And so
Nice.
just trying to get warmed up for that.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
And so, Michael, you're on bass then?
Yeah, I'm on bass. Tonight I'm rocking my Solar AB25.
Nice.
All the way from Spain, produced by a Swedish company. So, yeah, it is really special bass
That's
to
a
me.
confusing mix of European.
I know, right? yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you'll also see me later playing my Epiphone Flying V bass guitar.
Sick.
Rad.
They're not very common, so I'm very proud of owning that one. But yeah, I've been playing bass now for, I think I started back when I was like 14 or 15 years old. So bass has always been my primary instrument. I've flirted with electric guitar a little bit, do some drum work also, but mostly always find myself returning to the bass here.
Cool. And then on drums,
That's me. So yeah, Adam Daffron. I've been playing drums since I was in 7th grade, and then took a couple of different hiatuses, and now fell back in love with it again. And I just keep coming back to music, and it's just something I've got to do. If I'm a woodchuck, it's my wood. I've got to chuck the music. I've got to do it.
nice.
That's a pretty impressive kit you got there.
It's a hodgepodge. So it's part 1986 Yamaha recording custom, part 2010 Yamaha Tour custom, random cymbals, random hardware. I kind of Frankenstein it all together.
It looks
Frankenstein
great.
is the right word. I love that.
Yeah,
No, that's
that's the
excellent.
job.
Cool. So you guys have been a band for about how long now?
3 months,
Holy cow, you guys are
Four-
just jumping right into it.
4 months. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends
When
too.
did we start playing? Also, like, the band reformed about halfway after we started playing together. We had another guy playing guitar, and he developed an issue and decided he wasn't going to be part of the project anymore. And we looked at deadlines that we had set for ourselves and just said, no one's going to pull this off. So hence the click tracks and the backing tracks. So you will hear
Yeah.
some guitar work and things that, if you're looking, you're like, hey, that guy's not playing that. He's faking it. So yes, I am faking 2 or 3 guitar parts at times, but I'm playing what I can and singing what I can. So
Hey, it's
there's-
what you got to do to
Yeah.
perform what your content is live.
So we've named the 4th member of, he already has a name. His name's Roland, and he's become,
Nice to meet you, Roland.
he's become a good friend of ours.
It's very good.
Awesome. So do you guys want to play another song for us?
Yeah, you bet.
Cool.
Tries to annoy me, to break and destroy me. known. Tries to woo me, apprehend and undo me through choices of my own. Justified, outraged and high on victim mentality. There's nothing I can do, revolution's up to you. So take my cause and join the fight. You are powerful. This isn't what I planned, but life's made its demands, and right now it has the upper hand. So I'll have to let you go. I wish that I could say it's better off this way. Well, after time, another day. Perhaps then we'll know. It's not your fault, it's sucking you dry. You've not yet discovered why you're alive. But if this is going to survive, I'll have to let you go. Let you go to set you free. Free to be who you're meant to be. I let you go to set me free. Justified, outraged and high on victim mentality. There's nothing I can do, revolution's up to you. So take my cause and join the fight. You are powerful. Till you change yourself. Justified, outraged and high on victim mentality. There's nothing I can do, revolution's up to you. So take my cause and join the fight. It's easier to change the world than to change yourself. Yet you'll never change the world till you change yourself. It's easier to change the world than to change yourself. Yet you'll never change the world till you change yourself. It's easier to change the world than to change yourself. Yet you'll never change the world till you change yourself. It's easier to change the world than to change yourself. Yet you'll never change the world till you change yourself.
What do you guys draw your inspiration from?
Like who? Like what bands or like what?
In general,
Life.
it seems like the song spoke a lot of struggle.
Yeah. I think it's universal, right? Like, do you know anybody that doesn't?
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, every person you meet like has some struggle, like
Yeah.
something real, you know. And I think that song particularly for me is, you know, I mean, the idea is to be vague enough that people can draw their own meaning from stuff, right? Like, I don't necessarily want to like spoon feed like, hey, this is what it is. But for me, it's like that struggle with like, there are things that I can do for my life, and then and what wars against that is like the stuff that sucks. Like, I'd rather just sit and watch TV, or I'd rather do this, or I'd just rather, you know, whatever, you know. It's like, well, man, if I want to like actually do something, I got to get after it. So it's kind of like a lot of my songs are really about fighting against myself.
Just the ongoing struggle of doing what you should versus what you think you should be doing.
Yeah, you know. So, I mean, I guess little background on me. Like, I have I've got a family, I got 4 kids, I got a business, and like all that stuff has taken a lot of struggle to maintain and to get going, and so, and music's no different, to get to the point where you're sending off demos or doing, trying to do this, it's like you just got to embrace the suck and go do it, and like, you're never going to be perfectly ready for anything, and there's always going to be that like, well, that's one of the things, right? Like you can't do this because you're not good enough yet.
Yeah.
Screw you, man.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Like, I'm not gonna get good enough.
Just go for it.
If I don't do something, so let's get out of the box. Let's do something. Like
it's like Shia LaBeouf once said, "Just do it."
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's.
We never envisioned what we're doing today.
Yeah, no.
ever.
When we started off, it was.
It was just a joke project that we were doing, really. But
yeah.
Now here we are 4 years later.
Yeah.
With
it's
our
a
own
full
studio
thing,
and all.
And that's
crazy
awesome,
shit.
but like, this didn't happen by you saying like, well, I can't do it because of this or I can't do it because of that. It's like,
we just pushed on through
you do
the
a little
struggle.
bit and you're like, well, maybe we have this complication, but like, you know what? Let's just deal with that and see what happens. What happens next. Like.
Cool. Yeah, we can relate definitely to that. So what do you guys have for us next?
What do we have next? Oh, tune called Mission, which, along the same lines.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Oh, you want to fight? How you doing? Good. Yeah. All right. Ready?
Hello and welcome. Please listen carefully.
Please stand by.
Somewhere over the rainbow, there's a pot of gold, so I'm told. Waiting for someone to claim it, waiting for someone to be so bold. Some say life is what you make it, so ready, set, let's take it, here I go. Given this mission with an impossible vision, I'm not wishing for nothing, I'm not missing the mark. Based on vision, permission to engineer this decision.
So where do
That was sick, guys.
Heck yeah. I just want to know like about your musical influences.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm really grateful for these guys to come out and play because it takes a real special person to be like, yeah, I'll come try and recreate your project. Because this all started, being back out here anyway, was like before COVID. I had a pretty good base of employees, and I had some time, right? So I'd go and I'd get things opened up, and I was around, my business, but I spent a lot of time. I put a little recording studio together and just put on some headphones and made music. And I was like, well, what am I doing here? But you asked about influences, which started, I grew up, I guess all of that was to say that like my influences, I mean, these guys probably have different influences than I do, but they're recreating this project, which is awesome. So thank you. But I grew up, like I graduated in 2000 from high school. So it's been a while. So like, rock and grunge was a thing.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of Soundgarden, and my first cassette tape was
Nice.
I had a Garth Brooks tape, and I had the Black Album from Metallica. So like,
Nice.
those
Okay.
were a couple of my first influences. And then throughout the early 2000s, I played a lot. I was in a band like right out of high school. I dropped out of college to play music for a couple of years, and there's still a lot of like that new metal stuff was out. And then recently I've listened to a lot of like dubstep and math metal. So
Trying to incorporate all of it together.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's I'm not intentionally trying to incorporate. It's just like I sit down with a guitar and try and have fun, and then what comes out comes out. So like, I mean, what we'll play tonight is going to be a little bit varied in nature. But hopefully there's some sort of congruence to it.
So I'm hearing you like just like rock and new metal and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's definitely an influence. I got into music to play rock music. Like I got into music to play. I mean, I was in other music stuff in school and stuff, but electric guitar was like my thing, and I like playing like Eddie Van Halen was, early on was like the goal, and
Mm-hmm.
and so but I try and take the influence from everything, like I still listen to some of the top 40 stuff just to see what's out there and what people are doing.
Sure.
And like I've done enough music production stuff to be interested in making beats, or like I appreciate trance and techno and dubstep and all that stuff for what it is. Like, I mean, if it's good,
If it's good, it's good.
it's good,
Yeah.
So you say you started off like just kind of going into the studio and like just working on like a track by yourself. And what kind of like digital audio workstations were you using? around that time?
So I actually met my wife at MSU here. We both got a music technology degree.
Nice.
From here. So at that
It's a hard
time,
program.
what's that?
That's a hard program.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was kind of a beta test. Like my wife was the first year they had it, and I was the second year that they had it. So they were still figuring some things out.
Sure.
But it, I used Pro Tools some there, but I kind of fell in love with Logic towards the end of it. And so all of my demos I ended up making on like an old school like white MacBook from like 2008
Sure.
and
Nice.
Logic 9. I've since upgraded to Logic 10 and I have a newer MacBook, but and I'm dabbling in Ableton a little bit now. We did that.
Oh,
but, yeah.
Ableton is the shit. I love
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, well,
Aaron loves Ableton.
I haven't figured it out much in terms of production. I'm getting a little bit there. I tried the other day. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try making a demo in Ableton, but I got a little confused on some stuff. So far, I've mostly only used Ableton for triggering or automating lights, which was a whole project in itself.
Oh, I can imagine.
I didn't even know I could do that. Well, now I know.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fun.
Michael, I'm going to step out on a limb, but just judging off of your two bassists there, you must like metal.
Yeah, you'd definitely be right. I mean, I listen to bands like Trivium, Theocracy.
I wouldn't have
yeah.
guessed.
Yeah, I know, right? It's not that obvious. I mean, and this bass guitar actually, the owner of the company's name is Ola England. He has a
Cool.
YouTube channel himself, but he tests like a bunch of metal gear, does a bunch of stuff, and he's the one that he's a metal artist, building guitars for metal artists, and and that's why I just fell in love with this bass too. So
That is a sleek-looking bass, man.
Speaking to me.
It's got some very pure tone. I love it.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you. Yeah.
really, really fat and heavy, and it doesn't look. Are you running pedals down there? I don't think so.
I'm not running any pedals. I just have my AB switch to go between the two.
Sure. Yeah, that's rad, man. That your tone is.
It's a good active bass. Yeah, I mean,
Really
it
nice.
was designed specifically for this kind of music, so it was this was a really good time. Actually, when I joined up with the band, I did not own it, and halfway through, I ended up owning it. It was finally the good excuse that I needed
Just
to
a
be like,
little
you know
push.
what? It gave me the push to finally buy it.
And true transparency, I got this Schecter with like a very similar looking design after he got that. I didn't even intend to do that. But I got back the next day. I'm like, I got this new guitar. I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like your guitar. So he's already influencing me.
And Adam, what were some of your stronger influences growing up?
Mostly Britney Spears and
Britney Spears.
actually it's not. I'm not even kidding. It's pop. I like a lot of pop, but growing up, I went through a punk phase. I went through a metal phase, but at my heart, I'm a '90s kid. So those melodic, emotional songs from the '90s. That's what I gravitate to the most. But I appreciate everything. I like metal. I like jazz, progressive. But I think I lean more towards the pop and the modern stuff. And
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not popular for any reason.
Yeah. It's got the word pop and half the word in it. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what do you guys have planned after the CD release on April 30th?
So far, the goal is to get to the 30th and do that show.
Cool.
Where is that show?
It's going to be at the Commons.
The Commons?
Yep, off Baxter there.
Baxter and
Oh,
Love.
I guess
Yep.
that's one venue I haven't been to yet.
Yeah, it's kind of a multi-purpose place. I happen to know the facilities manager there, and we got to talk. And it's not that I have like any delusions of being able to like pack out that room, because I think it holds like 1,000 people or something like that. And
That would be impressive.
yeah, so if we can, I mean, that'll be a small miracle or a big miracle or whatever. But I mean, the goal is just like to do it. We can film it. It'll be a chance to have some, some marketing material. I don't know. We'll just see what
Excellent.
happens. You just do the next thing you can, and that's it, right?
No, that's really cool.
So
I think this episode won't be released until just shortly after that.
Yeah.
But if you guys did miss that show, make sure to check out the brand new album from these guys. So
yeah, that should be out that day.
and
hopefully.
it's called "The Battle Is Real."
It's
Is that
called
right?
The Battle Is Real. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Let's hear your guys' next song.
I don't need to let it go. Give me just direct me where to go. Give me step over here. There's nothing to fear. Go on and give it up. You can be sure that we have a cure. Go on and give it up. Just turn off your mind and soon you will find. Go on and give it up. Now do what we say and we'll make a way for you to give it up. Can we really be free? Oh, and are we of freedom? Deprive my needs and takes from another. Hate me, even blame me
having a problem there, Vance?
Yeah, I think my batteries are finally dying, so we're going to share the mic.
Okay.
On to this next part here. Aaron, we're going to let you give your little spiel, so I will hand the mic back.
Well, I have the paper here, so...
It's a good thing.
So, Aaron's on-air talking points. Wait, it says do not read. Please check out our YouTube channel and be sure to like our videos, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay caught up on new episodes of the GU Show, live streams, and hidden gems. Head over to www.theguradio.com for content from the artists on our show, events calendar, and a submission form to get on the show. Our web store is up and running, so make sure you grab your own Gallatin Underground merch, hats, tees, hoodies, and more. We are now offering sponsorships to businesses. If you like what we do, want to support us, and have your business represented on the Gallatin Underground, go to www.theguradio.com and click Become a Sponsor to see our different packages and learn more.
Wow, you're getting really good at that, Aaron.
It's not like I don't have to read something. One day I won't need to look at a thing to read, but yeah, until then.
Yeah, until then. So back to the band. You guys don't have much else except for this one show planned for the summer so far?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess bands out there, these guys are looking to play with you. You should hit them up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. We have no real plans. My next major plan, honestly, is to write more music. Like,
cool. Do you have like some material in line for the next album that you guys are going to be working on?
Yep.
Oh, you already got some more material. Awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
Sweet.
No, I had to dial it back to figure out what I was going to put on the CD. So there's a couple that may go on, but may be all new stuff. I don't know.
Awesome.
So before we got here for the show, I was remembering that the proceeds for that show are going to something special.
Yeah. So since this will be aired after the show, all of the funds that went to that concert are going to Greater Impact, which is a nonprofit in Bozeman, and they are starting a men's recovery house. So like people that essentially have made some choices that have got them stuck in life.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, can have some help getting out and kind of
get
back on their feet. So
you're helping contribute to that. That's so awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Well, I hope it went well.
That's like kind of the weird thing about these, like, where like it's not necessarily live yet, but
right.
by the time it gets there, everybody will have already watched it and hopefully watched your show too. So
Nice.
Did you fix your batteries?
no, but I guess I got a little bit of life, so we'll just see when it cuts out. What cuts out?
All right, well then just yoink the microphone.
Yoink. Cool. Well, yeah. Let's see how many we have left. Probably 4 or 5 left.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do another one.
Okay.
Excellent.
Sorry. Oh my goodness. Your poor machine.
Yes.
Ravaged by pandemic, the problem is systemic. Feeling like it's time to go, go, go. They're shutting us down for crying out loud. So we're crying out loud. They're shutting us down. Non-step conditions, checkpoints and suspicions make our homes our prison. They're shutting us down. We're crying out loud. So we're crying out loud. They're shutting distance. You'll pay for resistance, you know. Let no one come near when you're living in fear. The problem is systemic. Feel like it's time to go, go, go. Ravaged by pandemic. The problem is systemic. Feel like it's time to go, go, go. Ravaged by pandemic. The problem is systemic. Feel like it's time to go, go, go. Ravaged by pandemic. The problem is systemic. Feel like it's time to go, go, go.
That was rad, you guys. Hold on one sec. I gotta kill this over here.
You guys haven't really played a ton of shows, but you were talking earlier about a show you just played. Where was that at?
We did just kind of a self set at a private venue, a pre-release party. So I just invited people that we know. It wasn't a huge show. We had, I don't know, 50 people maybe 30, 10. 5 people. There were five people.
I'd say at least 50. It
That's
was good.
That's more people than show up to our shows, but
Oh.
Yeah.
so we've played to 3 people.
By the time we were done, there were -3 people there.
There was -3 people because we were out too. But
Yeah. So that was just. It's for a number of reasons. One was like it gave us a deadline before the 30th.
Sure.
To like, okay, we're gonna be in front of people soon. We have to get to this point. And then we also used it to try and get the word out. Obviously, nobody has any idea who we are. We haven't been out playing. We're not doing all that stuff. And so we're like, hey, go tell people to come to the 30th and tell them that we're raising funds so that they can come for that reason too.
Absolutely.
Even if they don't want to come listen to music that assaults their eardrums or whatever. You know?
I don't know why they wouldn't want to come listen to you guys. You guys have a very solid feel to such a new band. I mean, for being 3 months, I mean, shit, after 3 months, we just sucked.
Yeah.
I mean,
we still suck.
Yeah. So I mean, none of us are green to playing music. I mean, I played in a band for where we played for a couple of years every weekend, and went around the state doing that. Adam's
cool.
in a gigging cover band. They play like sometimes 2-3 times a week.
What's your other band, Adam?
Yeah, I'll plug it. It's Savvy.
Oh, cool.
Savvy the band. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, his wife's killer musician. She's a great singer, great front lady.
She's the best.
Yeah, the best.
And Michael, you have a pretty musical background as well.
Yeah, I mean, so I actually primarily was playing bass in churches with the main thing, and sort of going up from there. But I've played in other various bands just throughout my time as well, just whenever somebody needs. I mean, bassists honestly are generally, people want them. People want good bassists, so it's like, there's no shortage of times for me to play.
That's really cool. So yeah, do you guys just play music all the time on your spare time?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, each of us has had to do a significant amount of like individual work, and that is part of the benefit of doing what we're doing, like having a click track and using backing tracks. It forces you to have to play the same way every time, right? Like so, but also you can practice at home like with a band,
Sure.
I mean, like
Builds that muscle memory.
yeah. And so, I mean, it would be nice to do some more improv type stuff at some point, but take it a day at a time.
Sure.
And for the 30th show, I got to plug this. So the guy that played bass on the album, so I had a studio drummer and a studio bass player for the album, and then I did all the guitar work and the vocals. And but the bass player that played on the album, he's actually going to join us on the 30th to play guitar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we will have another guitar player on the 30th, and
Nice.
And he's a professional, so he should be okay.
Yeah.
He'll probably be better than I am.
Excellent.
So I'm going to segue into this segment we do for almost every artist. Well, almost every artist, I say, but like sometimes we skip it.
Sometimes.
But drum roll. Who is the diva of the band?
Probably have to be me, because everything,
I don't know.
everything has to go my way, right?
I don't know. I'm pretty fickle with like all my gear and stuff. Like I'm breaking it down. No one's touching it just because I break it down in a certain way so that it sets up the same way. I don't have
Sure.
to think about it. So I don't know.
It's a
You
close
did
call.
say
say you listen to Britney Spears, so I might have to join you on the vote with that one.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll take it.
Adam can be the diva.
Yeah, without the hair.
Well, that just goes against every other project with the lead frontman's name in it, right?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man, that's just contrary to
Normally-
like belief.
Normally.
It's the drummer. It's the drummer. No. All
take
jokes
it.
aside.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, when I was making the album, it was just me. So it was, I'm like, well, I can't think of like a cool band name for myself, so I'll just use, essentially my name. Irvin's actually my middle name, but it's easier to say than my last name. And
Sure.
And I don't know, it kind of represents, your middle name. When you get called by your middle name, it's like your mom, she's mad at you or whatever. That's.
Yeah.
I just felt like Samuel Irvin is like my whole name, and music kind of feels like me being my whole self. So
Okay.
I just thought it made sense. And I actually gave these guys the option. I'm like, hey, so like this project, what do you want to call the band, And they're like, I don't know, I'll just call it the Sam Irvin Project. That's fine, whatever. So yeah.
Cool.
We
So-
had another name that sounded a lot more country, and we were like, no.
What was it?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what exactly was it?
it was the Samuel Irvin Band.
Oh yeah, it was the
versus
Samuel
Sam
Irvin Band.
And
Yeah.
they're
Yeah, it
like,
does
no,
sound
that's-
more country
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah,
That's
They're
what
like,
it was.
no, we need something. Why don't we just do a
We're not
project?
a country.
So I was kind of curious. You said you recorded the whole album basically with a studio drummer. You hired some professional musicians to record tracks with you. What was the most challenging part of the recording process for you?
Waiting.
waiting the time
Waiting is the hardest
for
part.
everything to get.
Yeah, so it was a studio out in Boston. So I made all these demos just using like MIDI drums and all this stuff, and I sent them, and they did this advertisement. They're like, hey, we'll help you crowdfund an album. Essentially, like I'm like, oh well, hey, if I can get the money out of the way, like let's do that.
Sure.
So flew out to Boston. Actually, did one single, which is maybe the one you've heard.
Sure.
Did that out there. Got that done, and then used that to promote the crowdfunding
Album release
Yep.
and the crowdfunding. Sure.
Right, and then once we got the crowdfunding, then like all the COVID things started getting out of control, and like getting back there seemed less
Likely.
likely. So yeah, then it was like, okay, well we'll schedule a drum session via Zoom and all this and all that, like, and so it was just like, it's like, oh yeah, we'll put you on the calendar for like 2 months from now. It's like, oh my goodness, 2 months? Are you serious? Like, and just, even now, it's like, it's been 2 years since I started the process.
Oh man.
And I'm like still waiting for my final mixes before it goes to master. So like, I'm like, I hope we have this done by April.
Wow, that's stressful.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's part of life, right? But which is why I have material ready to go for other stuff, because it's like,
You've had time in between.
this stuff's been done for a while.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, okay.
So with the whole crowdfunding process, there's not a lot of bands that probably that I know that do that. Was that something challenging for you as well?
Yeah, it was like a full-time job. It was really a lot of work. But they had like a template, right? They're like, I had like a checklist every day, like,
Have to do this.
you have to post.
Have to do this.
You have to post this on Facebook at this day, and like, it was like, if you missed something, it wasn't the end of the world. But I mean, it was.
But if you want it to succeed, you had to do
and they're like,
all of it.
They're like, it'll take you, 15 minutes or whatever. It's like, yeah, maybe 15 minutes to actually do the work, but like, it takes like 2 hours to think up the thing that you're going to do for that 15 minutes.
That's interesting.
So it was a lot, but
Yeah, that's definitely sounds like a strenuous process, but I guess you'll find out if the end product was worth it here shortly. So
I think it will be. Yeah,
Cool.
I'm pretty proud of what we got down, and there's room to grow for sure. I've learned a lot through the process. I'm considering just self-producing things going forward.
yeah,
But not totally sure yet. I definitely would like to have that kind of control, because it's like one of those things like, hey, can you tweak this like 2 decibels? Like, I would really like that too. Okay, yeah, I can do that. I can have that mixed to you in like 3 weeks. I mean, that's the kind of thing that is just like, ooh, that's hard.
we should make sure that Tommy D listens to this because he expects things like next day.
Yeah. Yeah. But then at the same time, never when we expect the same of him.
Goes both ways.
Yeah.
So I guess let's do your back to back, and then we'll get some thank yous and goodbyes out there, and we'll start to wrap the show up.
Okay, sounds good.
Excellent.
Well, so question about the back-to-back.
Sure.
We have. So if we're ready for that, should we do choice and lies, or do you just want to do delay as our back-to-back, which is a 9-minute song?
You call it.
Do you want to do all three?
Well, then we have one more beyond that, so it's kind of it's whatever you have time for.
We can do the 9-minute one at the end. That's fine. Are we cutting any song? That's getting a little bit.
Yeah,
weird noise
we'd
there.
probably end up cutting one song if we do that one. If we do the 9-minute one, we'd probably end up cutting one. Let's do
I mean, we're open to hear all three of them. Or 4 of them. Is there 4? Am I?
4,
Yeah. Just play 3 of them and then do the 9-minute at the end.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be fun.
Excellent.
That'll be fun. So, what tune is this? Wait. Yeah.
Delay. I mean,
No, choice, right?
Choice.
I was trying to get out of that section.
Ready?
Everywhere I look, I see. Whoa. I killed myself, I did, that's all. Nothing's the same now, the game's over now. Good night, we'll be alright. Doesn't have to be this way, she said. Doctor said it won't hurt at all. Relax, distract with this lovely smell. Listen to the music and all will be well. What's wrong? It's my right, it's guaranteed. Society and policy can't expect me just to be tied down at 23. Years I'd lose just being there. The progress lost would be unfair. Better gone, better there, better unaware. Gotta push, gotta climb, gotta chase that dream of mine. Made the choice for me this time, and the choice is mine. Well, is there a drug for my heart? Could this choice tear me apart? Ooh, everyone's on my side, and I'm alone. Could I have known? What's wrong? It's my right, it's guaranteed. Society and policy can't expect me just to be tied down at 23. Years come being there, the progress lost will be unfair. Better gone, better there, better unaware. Gotta push, gotta find, gotta chase that dream of mine. Made the choice for me this time, and the choice is mine. But the thing that keeps on plaguing me, what if my mother made another choice when she was 23? It's wrong. It's my right, it's guaranteed. Society and policy can't expect me just to be tied down at 23. It's my right, it's guaranteed. Society and policy can't expect me just to be tied down at 23. Years I lose just being there. The progress lost will be unfair. Better gone, better there, better unaware. Better push, gotta climb, gotta chase that dream of mine. Made the choice for me this time, and the choice is mine. Gone, better there, better that. It's unaware. Years I lose just being there. Progress lost will be unfair. Gotta push, gotta climb, gotta chase that dream of mine. Made the choice for me this time, and the choice is mine.
Do lies?
you don't need to. Seems everyone's agreed to just believe you. Blissfully held in your cruelty, entangled in freedom so easily. Whatever we do, seems everyone's agreed to. Concede to your charming plea to disbelieve you. You tell me lies, 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 no lies, You're as sly as sly can be, a shiny shadow of reality. When I look at you, I see me, I see me as I wanna be, flawless, yet flawlessly deceived. It's all a game. It's all the same as it ever was. There's no come on. There's no
We're doing one more?
On my way or delayed?
Yeah. Well,
On my way?
they said end with the 9 minutes, so yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say that I think that one's my favorite so far.
Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. I think there's a good reason for that, and one is that it's an expected chord structure. You know, your ears are used to hearing like 12-bar blues, which is essentially what it is. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's yeah, there's something to that.
It's got a good feel.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
just blues rock. which is interesting because I really had a hard time deciding to use that one. I'm like, it's a little too.
It's good.
But
It's good variation.
yeah, it's fun. Just goes to show that what I like isn't necessarily what the whole world likes. My favorite stuff, people are like, that's weird. I don't get it. I've literally had people tell me that. I'm like, okay, fine.
Ready?
Yep. Yeah.
If you haven't experienced it yet, it's coming. And if you have, it'll probably happen again. You really only have two choices. Let it crush you.
I've been told that it's all been done. There is nothing new under the sun. Let it go. You're wasting your time, don't you know? I hear it every day, like a plague in my bones. But the life inside of me cries out to be known. Could it be that I could ever set my spirit free? It's okay. I'm on my way. So I cradle this little dream, keep it safe from harm. I incubate the hope, my soul where it's warm. When it's time, I'll open up my life and let it fly. Yeah, when it's time, I'll open up my life and let it fly. It's I've been told that it's all been done. There is nothing new under the sun. Let it go. You're wasting your time, don't you know? So cradle this little dream, keep it safe from harm. I'll keep it safe. I'll incubate the hope.
Your mic's not on.
I know, I'm pulling a Tommy here. that was excellent, guys.
Oh, did you add reverb to my voice?
I did now.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is a part of the show where we like to let you guys say any thank yous and goodbyes, shout outs to anybody that might be out there that have supported you along the way, that have helped push you musically or in any other ways. And this is the spot for them. So
Yeah, well, first and foremost, thank you to you guys for having us on. I mean,
you're welcome.
It's an awesome opportunity to like get out and force ourselves to do this real time. So we can't start over, right? And then next and most importantly would have to be my wife. So we've got 4 kids, and there's no way that I could have the time or the energy to do this. Even having the time from my business all resulted from her, backing me and giving me, freedom and encouragement. And and then thank you to these guys for being willing to dedicate their time to doing this, because obviously it wouldn't happen by myself. So
yeah. Michael?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for my wife for letting me do this. Because it has been a lot of time. It's been a lot of practice, a lot of time just being able to hang out with these 2 guys has been awesome. So yeah, and then my parents, because they bought me my first bass.
Cool.
yeah, right.
What about you, Adam?
Yeah, I've got to go with the wife too. Not to be a cliche, but we've got a lot going on too. She has kids, so we do have kids quite often, and a couple of other music projects, and everything else. So her support just means the world, and then these guys too. It's just really grateful to be a part of this, and it's a growing experience. It's about the process for me too. So it's been a great ride, and thanks to anybody that's going to listen to this or support us in the future, or will have supported us by the time this airs.
That's so awesome. Thank you, guys. Cool. Well, with that, we'll let you guys play your last song, and we'll wrap the show up. Most excellent. That was seriously great.
Cool.
Well, if you guys out there didn't pay attention, this is a Samuel Irvin project, and if you didn't go to the album release party, you probably missed out. Yeah, definitely check out the album. So until next time, know your scene.